Matt Groening named his show The Simpsons because he thought it was funny to have the word simp, short for simpleton, in their name. A cat in New Zealand tricked two different women into owning him. Neither knew they had the same cat until after he went to the vet for stitches. The cat got to keep both names as well as both owners through a shared custody agreement. In 1963, the Bronx Zoo had an exhibit called The Most Dangerous Animal in the World. It was a mirror. There are more payday-loan stores in the US than there are Starbucks or McDonald's. Men walk significantly slower when walking with a woman, but only when that woman is their romantic partner. If she's a friend or acquaintance, they go at almost full speed. Saran wrap isn't as clingy because it used to have a toxic chemical in it and they voluntarily removed it, costing them almost half their market share. The Black Death was personified by an old woman carrying a rake and a broom. If she used the rake, some would survive in between the teeth of the rake. If she used the broom, the whole population of an area would die. The actor who played Crabbe in the Harry Potter series was arrested for looting a drugstore with a Molotov cocktail during the 2011 London riots and spent 2 years in prison. John Jameson, founder of Jameson's Irish whiskey, was actually Scottish.
Liar!
No!
You're with him!
Montana is the only US state constitutionally mandated to teach and preserve Native American history and culture. An estimated 1.25 billion animals were lost in Australia's bushfires. Water towers aren't for storing water. Putting the water higher up pressure rises it, making it easier to distribute. Submarine sonar is not a ping like movies and games, but actually extremely loud and can kill people and sea life. The letter A is an upside down ox head. It's from an ancient Egyptian symbol of an ox and leads the alphabet. Thanks to a Swedish tax law regarding costumes, ABBA's stage clothes were outlandishly designed on purpose. As long as they were impractical for everyday wear, the group's outfits were tax deductible. People are still falling for Nigerian prince scams, and Americans are losing over $700,000 every year to these scams. The majority of Icelanders either believe in elves or are unwilling to rule out their existence. There's a species of ants that abduct larvae of other colonies to use them as slaves. Their own workers do nothing but these raids. Robin Williams was interested for the role of Hagrid, Harry Potter, but was rejected due to the all-British and Irish cast policy. Since May 5, 2018, every new vehicle sold in the US is required to be equipped with a backup camera as a standard feature. Until the 1970s, the words moron, imbecile and idiot were actually medical diagnoses. Only one horror movie has ever won an Oscar for Best Picture, The Silence of the Lambs. It is also one of only 3 films of all time to win all 5 top awards. Tom and Jerry has won 7 Oscars. Eric Carroll's A Very Hungry Caterpillar is sold once every 30 seconds somewhere around the world. More than half the population of Canada lives south of Seattle. Bald eagles' nests can be 13 feet deep and 8 feet wide and can weigh more than 1 ton. An untouched apartment in Paris opened after 70 years had a painting worth $3.4 million. Despite being on opposite ends of the country, Disneyland and Disney World are both located in Orange County. Farmers put colored pigment on the chests of rams so that they can tell which ewes have mated by the pigment on their backs. The Roman dodecahedron, a bronze artifact whose function continues to elude us. The Catholic Church reclassified beavers as fish so they can be eaten during Lent. Abraham Lincoln donated $10 to Ireland during the Great Famine. Criminals in ancient Athens were most commonly executed via crucifixion, the board, but the government allowed the condemned to drink hemlock instead if they personally purchased the poison. The graffiti symbol Kilroy was here that was left all throughout World War II as a way of keeping soldiers' spirits up. Pablo Picasso carried around a revolver loaded with blanks, which he used to shoot at people who asked about the meaning behind his paintings. Betty Robinson, who won Olympic gold in the 1936 Olympics, after having survived a plane crash, wrongly declared dead, and a 6-month coma. Rob Lowe went to high school with Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, Sean Penn, Chris Penn, and Robert Downey Jr. The Mandalorian was filmed on a giant virtual set, displaying the backgrounds with real-time graphics, captured in camera. The UK had just one certified rectal teaching assistant who allowed students to explore his anus. In 2016, he lost his job to a robotic anus after scientists at Imperial invented an ultra-realistic anus. On the night that John Wilkes Booth assassinated Abraham Lincoln, his co-conspirator was supposed to assassinate Vice President Andrew Johnson. The co-conspirator lost his nerve and got drunk instead. Broccoli stems contain just as many nutrients as the whole broccoli. The town of Zizx in California was named by a quack doctor to purposely be the last listing in any dictionary or atlas. Nigeria is the third largest English-speaking country, behind India and United States. Disney World has the power to establish schools, form their own criminal justice system and construct a nuclear power plant, although they have not chosen to do that yet. Tish the goldfish was recognized by the Guinness Book of Records as the oldest captive goldfish, 43 years after he was won as a prize at a fun fair. Jimi Hendrix successfully pretended to be gay in order to be discharged from the army. George Washington's teeth weren't made of wood, rather his dentures were made from animal and human teeth, which he had most likely pulled from slaves. A full-size tree has been growing out of the 110-foot steeple of a courthouse in Indiana since the 1870s. The British Navy would use Britney Spears songs to scare off Somali pirates. Crispin Glover, who played George McFly in Back to the Future, is 3 years younger than Michael J. Fox, who played his son Marty in the film. Freshwater snails kill more humans per year than do elephants, crocodiles, sharks, lions, wolves and hippos combined. At the time of the dinosaurs, Earth completed one rotation in about 23 hours. Dragon fruit, while popular in Southeast Asia, is a cactus native to Mexico. Portugal produces more than 50% of the world's cork supply. Only 7 men have lived to see their millionth hour, though more than 100 women have done so. Humans invented booze before the wheel. Disney currently owns 12 of the 32 highest grossing media franchises of all time. Ornithologists believe birds rub ants on their wings as the formic acid that the ants release may kill feather lice. 4 American presidents were neither Democrat or Republican but Whig, a third political party that collapsed around 1855. There is a snail species named after Steve Irwin called the Crikey Stevie. New Oxford American Dictionary added a fake word, esquivalence, to track plagiarism. The US government had a top secret World War II weapon that just made Germans smell like shit, but cancelled it because the person who sprayed it would also end up smelling like shit. The fine Wi-Fi doesn't mean anything, including wireless fidelity. The creators just called it that because it rhymed with hi-fi. 93% of shark attacks around the world between 1580 and 2010 were on males. Research on ants with barcode tags shows that ants take sick days. When some members of the colony are exposed to pathogens, they spend less time in the nest. Guinness drinkers with mustaches are unknowingly wasting an estimated 162,719 pints every year by trapping it in their facial hair. Squirrels can use their tails as an umbrella in the rain, a rudder when swimming, and a towel when it's wet. Indiana once offered a bacon-scented scratch-off lottery ticket. One of the prizes was $250 of bacon for 20 years. The reason for feeling uneasy in an empty parking lot or school hallway is because they are liminal spaces, only serving as a waiting area, causing us to feel on edge. King Zog of Albania survived 55 assassination attempts. More than 2,000 baby girls in the US were named Khaleesi from 2014 to 2018. Dawn Wells, the first woman to wear short shorts on television as she played Mary Ann on Gilligan's Island. The US military did not help Marvel with the Avengers, 2012, because they could not understand the role of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the chain of command. In the original Star Wars movie, Darth Vader was only on screen for a total of 8 minutes and 6 seconds. When legendary baseball player Yogi Berra died in 2015, the Associated Press obituary accidentally announced the death of Yogi Berra. The film Shrek was based on a children's book, Shrek, that was published in 1990. Mona Lisa painting has its own mailbox due to the large amount of love letters and flowers from admirers. Hippos can't really swim, but instead walk or sometimes run on the riverbed. 3 people stole $18 million worth of maple syrup in Quebec. This was over the course of about a year. Palm trees aren't actually trees but a type of gigantic grass. It's a federal crime in the United States to clog up the toilet in a national forest. The Titanic's sister ship Olympic came to its aid, but was turned away because the other rescuers didn't want to put the survivors on a ship nearly identical to the one they had just escaped. Owls don't have eyeballs, they have eye tubes. Ancient Egyptian priests used to pluck every single hair from their body to sanctify themselves. Ouch. According to Pornhub, the most popular day to watch porn is on Sunday, while the least popular is Friday.